When the churches were closed for almost 1.5 years or two, where there was no Eucharist, where there was no sacraments, and the gates were closed and no one could enter in, even to pay a visit to the grotto. And when everything was under lockdown, we know how difficult it was for us. We felt some kind of emptiness within ourselves. We didn't feel that everything is okay with us. The joy that we used to feel and experience in the church as we gathered as an assembly, a community, that was missing. When the churches were opened for public worship again, I witnessed how some of our parishioners, as they entered, they cried. Literally, they cried. They came in with full of tears in their eyes. They felt that joy that has come back because once again we can gather as a community to worship God, to take part in the Eucharist, to enjoy the sacraments. Even when they come for confessions, in tears they say, now we feel that we have that joy that was missing for a long time. That is an earthly experience that we all have. But remember, one day, if you and me enter into heaven, and when we see God face to face, when we are in the glory of heaven, what joy we will have. It is not a dream. It is not some kind of an imagination. That is what we are looking forward. Our Christian life, a pilgrimage from this earthly life to the heavenly life. If anyone does not want to enter into heaven, if anyone who does not want to have that experience cannot call him or herself as children of God, as a Christian. Our Christian life is not based or rooted in this earthly life. Our target is to go to heaven. Our ultimate destiny, the destination is the eternal life. Therefore, all life what we spend here, we know it is a temporary, a momentary life. Always we should look forward to that eternal life. So today the feast we celebrate, the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, is inviting all of us, as the church teaches, that our journey, our pilgrimage is to follow like Mother Mary to go to heaven. We know this feast is being celebrated from the 3rd century. And the 8th century we see officially the church celebrated in a more wider level. But only in 1946, Pope Pius XII, in his own way, communicated to all the bishops in the world, asking for their views to announce this feast and this Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary as a dogma, as a doctrine. All bishops in the world, together with their faithful, in one voice, agreed for this doctrine, this dogma, the teaching of the church. On the 1st of November in 1950, on the Solemnity of All Saints, Pope universally announced this feast or this solemnity to be celebrated in more faith and in a better vision. So the assumption of Blessed Virgin Mary, according to St. John Paul II, our beloved Pope, and he says 3 things we need to draw from this feast. The assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, taken into heaven with her body and soul, means that it is a way to God. The pilgrimage, the way, the path to God. This feast is showing us that we need to go to God. We came from God and we need to return back to God. Writing to the Ephesians, St. Paul clearly says that God chose us before the foundation of the world through Jesus. And we are chosen to be holy and blameless in His presence. So we come from God. We are originated from God. And we need to return back to God. So this feast, the first thing, according to Pope John Paul II, it is a way to God. The second thing is, this feast reminds us it is a way to heaven. We are not going to remain here. Our life is not to be rooted here. We need to focus towards heaven. The heaven is a promise. The heaven is not an imagination. It is a reality that you and I will have to go there. That is our ultimate place where we need to enjoy the eternal life. And third one, it is a way to life. Our life does not end. Our life does not end with this earthly life. When we die, our life does not end there. Our life is targeted or focused on heaven, that is the eternal life. So look at the readings today. The first reading taken from the book of Revelations. Beautifully, it portrays how and where Mother Mary is now. She is already in heaven. The reading begins beautifully. God's temple in heaven was opened. God's temple in heaven was opened, and we see Mother Mary, Blessed Virgin Mary, how she is there. And our mother, our Blessed Mother is there on behalf of us. And we need to follow our mother to enter there. And in the second reading, writing to the Corinthians, St. Paul says, death came to the world through one person, one man, Adam. But that death was defeated. A life was brought by another person, that is Jesus Himself. Therefore, we are here on a temporary pilgrimage. We need to continue our life to enter into heaven. We need to do every possible thing to achieve that goal, to go to heaven. No one should think, no, I'm not going to go there. I want to live the way I want. I want to live an easy life. I want to be as I want. That cannot be a Christian life. That cannot be a baptized way of life. We need to follow Mother Mary, Blessed Virgin Mary, and go to the place where we came from. So let us, during this Eucharistic celebration, focus our attention in the heavenly life, where we will meet one another in the presence of God.